These
Okay, it's starting.
forces flow through all matter and energy in our solar system and beyond. But we haven't always known this.
Whose voice
When
is
the
this?
Traveler arrived in our solar system, they called it many things. A ship, a planet, a god. Its presence provoked and inspired great change. It terraformed several moons and planets. Our lifespans increased threefold. And we launched colony ships to settle worlds beyond our own. This was our golden age. But like all golden ages, it was doomed to collapse. The Traveler was pursued by an ancient enemy. A voice in the darkness. It found us. Humanity lost everything. With the last of its strength, the Traveler pushed back its enemy to create something new. The ghosts. In the dark times that followed the collapse, the ghosts chose the first Lightbearers.
What's up, Zavala?
Immortal warriors gifted with the power of the Traveler's light. Humanity faced many threats in those days. Invaders from beyond our system.
This stuff is so cool.
In droves.
I love these cutscenes.
Called the Fallen came to scavenge the remains of our golden age. The warlike Cabal came for our territory and resources for conquest. The Hive, ravenous worshippers of death, came to feed their infernal hunger. And the Vex, strange living machines, came to recreate our world in their own brutal image. We fought with each other as well. For a time, chaos reigned. Though in the end, we came together to rebuild, to heal. We built a city under the Traveler, the last safe city of Earth. In this city, humanity lived peacefully in all its forms.
What's up, Fabulous?
The humans, Earth's original inhabitants, the Exos, marvels of the Golden Age.
This better be in the game from now on.
The Awoken, a people touched by both light and dark. Lightbearers took an oath to protect the last city. Over the centuries, they earned the title Guardians. The Titans, paragons of strength.
I'm getting chills. This
and
is so
bravery.
fucking rad.
The Warlocks, mage scholars trained in the arcane arts. And the Hunters, bold adventurers gifted with cunning. Guardians know that when they stand together, they are stronger.
Oh.
And now, new threats use our own powers against us. The Black Fleet closes in, edging us toward a second collapse.
Edging us?
Uh-oh! And our greatest adversary, the voice in the darkness, is revealed. A being of unimaginable power. The Witness.
Megamind!
But all is not lost. Brand new Guardians rise every day to shape the future of our solar system and beyond.
Fuck! That was so cool! I kind of thought they were about to drop the 2. That cutscene better be in the game from now on. That was so fucking cool! Alright, we'll turn this back down just a touch. Cool beans, 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 cool beans. What a cool way to kick off the pre-show with a like brand new cutscene. That's gonna be in the game.
When I think about being a Guardian, I think about being part of a fire team. For me specifically, I think about being a fire team leader. I think about not only being a fire team leader for my friends, but also for my family. So many of my friends trust me with their Guardians. There you go. Very good. Very good. Oh, you just killed your dad. The teamwork that really pays off, especially after a long period of hard work. To come in clutch in the big moments. I've been able to pass along my love of Destiny to so many friends, also to my family. Been able to game with my daughter. To be able to guide little lights is truly a treasure. But to me, the most important part of being a Guardian is being kind to everyone that we meet. Your kindness and joy may spark hope in a darkness zone where light is fading away.
Whose favorite type of Dawn and cookies is lavender ribbon? Lavender ribbon? That's gotta be Ava, right? Oh, dude, Little Lights, that's... So in the D1 campaign, the like vanilla D1 campaign, that's what the stranger calls the ghost, is Little Light. And it's just kind of been one of those things. It's Ava. No, Lavender, it's Saint. Yeah! Lavender ribbon. This is very cool, man. Like, the art that the community puts together is unbelievable. Drifter's hungry. What's he having for dinner today? Screeb loaf. Probably scorn flakes.
I think one of my most favorite memories with them so far is Valid Disciple contest mode. It's my very first time even doing day one raid.
Man.
We didn't get it, but it was a good time. Yeah, through my clan, they've helped me become a better person, a more confident person, a more confident player, and I wouldn't be the same without them.
Fucking love that, dude. Fucking love that! Man, your first, like, day one raid experience is unparalleled. Like, I think that it does tend to have an effect on, like, who's, like, which raid is somebody's favorite. What's up, Hound? Night Hound? No, 100%, man. Like, the clan is great. It's a pretty chill group of people. What place in the Destiny universe would you like to go on vacation? That's a really good one. Venus, for sure, Venus.
Y gracias a este personaje he sido capaz de hacer incontables amigos, vivir experiencias inolvidables y atesorar también momentos dentro de la comunidad. Para mí el juego es más que simplemente lo que se ve en pantalla. han sido las personas, las actividades,
Orange
los
Soda
hitos como
Planet, innit?
jugador incluso,
No.
la experiencia y todo este sueño de
Venus
la
had
historia que
the,
hemos construido, en el que hay un desarrollo de
I
personaje.
guess so. Yeah. Some orange water for sure. Dude, some of this art's unreal. The Cabal. Come on, Bungie, test me harder. Brr! It was Venus. I was wrong. The little callus bobblehead. I love it. God, like, here's the thing, man. There are only two like specific gaming communities I've ever been a part of in my life, and it's Halo and Destiny. I was too young to be like a part of the marathon scene, but like as cool as the Halo community has been my entire life, it's had way more trials and tribulations over the last 20 years, which makes sense. It's been around for more than twice as long as Destiny has been, but the Destiny community is just fucking special. Yo!
My name is Lillian. I go by Lily Bean Cosplay on Instagram, and I've been doing Destiny cosplay for 6 years. I started playing Destiny in late 2015, and I just fell in love with the designs, the characters in the game, and I went to a local convention dressed as my hunter. From then, I
Absolutely
kind of just wanted
fabulous.
to keep going. I did a House of Winter Fallen Drag, Sweeperbot, Soraya Hawthorne, Anna Bray, my hunter.
Her Anna
from
Bray is
Destiny
so
2.
fucking good.
It always has to do with a character that I'm drawn to in some way from a design standpoint. If it's a character that has a bunch of LEDs or, moving arms or something, I look at it and say, how can I make this? Because I want to learn from it. I want to diversify my skill set with my Spyro's Associate
No, I
costume.
think that's fair, Joe.
That's like a fully immersive costume. You can't
Although
see my
I will
face,
say,
I'm wearing a helmet, and I
even
have
during the
2
Halo
extra
3
arms.
era, which was,
Savathun was part of the Cosplay
or
Cosmodrome
Reach would be
event
more
that Bungie did for Bungie
applicable
Day,
here.
and
It was
being
still
able
a
to
very
take
divisive
character whose
community.
design I wasn't super familiar with yet, and create it in real life and then wear it. is great.
unreal. Look at that shit.
There's so many different groups within the Destiny community. You have artists, you have musicians, streamers, gamers, and I think that's really special. Just to be able to show, like, this is what inspires me, and this is what I'm gonna do to show that it inspires me.
Oh, of course, Joe. 100%, Ben. Why you don't have time to explain, obviously. Yeah, no. Like, I don't even have time to explain why I don't have time to explain. Infamous. This is my favorite pre-show they've done so far. This has been really cool. Like, they normally do like all of the community art and everything, but like no, 100%, Aaron. Oh, I mean, like, now it was the problem with the game, right? Which Vex enemy do you fear the most? Wyverns, for sure. The fucking chickens. Leave me alone, chicken. It was the problem with Destiny 1, like, you know, the meme that it turned into was like, oh, Destiny 1 doesn't have a story. And like the one time Bungie's literally like hands themselves on a silver platter, like, hey, what's going on in this game? They're like, nah, fucking, I don't even have time to
I'm
tell
Dan,
you
aka the
why I
Rat
don't have
Games
time
crew.
to tell you.
I've been playing Bungie games since Marathon 2. And
Same,
I've been playing
dude.
Destiny since it launched. I'm so happy to be part of such a creative and passionate community, and I can't wait to see what Destiny is going to do next.
So jealous I didn't get one of those shirts. I'm just too fat. I'm too fat for the Bungie shirts. Not at all, Fabulous. Not at all. Like, D2 is basically its own separate thing. There is a lot of callbacks, but like if you don't know it, you're not really missing out, if that makes sense. HELM is an acronym for Hub of Emergency Logistics and Maneuvers. I'm pretty sure the tower is gonna fall in this expansion, and that the helm is gonna be the only thing that we get to use moving forward. And I think they've done a good job of prepping us for that in a lot of ways.
Well, for somebody who's played from D1 to D2, what makes a Guardian is someone who, against all odds, keeps...
What's up, bro? You don't have an exotic?
Always moving forward. I was introduced to the game by a bunch of friends, military, law enforcement. I'm in the public safety field. Don't have a lot of time to play, but when I play hard.
Yeah, my name is by Mylan Games.
Went to other jobs or just didn't really see them anymore.
There are a bunch.
About the content and not having it vast. I've learned from D1 to D2, the game has definitely grown. And me as a diehard Guardian, I keep pushing forward.
So this guy was definitely a manager during Destiny 1's release.
See what's happening. And
at
now,
GameStop.
here we are,
That's pretty funny.
Still playing.
Or if he wasn't a manager, then his manager let him keep the shirt. Because Ghost is named Glint. I wish I had a whiteboard so that I could like write my answers down. See how many people in chat know these answers before I blurt them out. Maybe what I'll do next time is instead of giving the answer out right away, I'll wait until this kind of comes up. Not when it reveals the answer, but I'll wait for that. Hell yeah, Steve Saylor. I don't recognize your buddy.
Steve Saylor, aka Blind Gamer Steve. I'm a content creator and accessibility advocate and consultant in the video game industry.
My name is T Morris. People call me T. They call me T Monster. I also go by Twitch Dad.
When I started looking into wanting to stream, I had known this dude here for about, I think about 10 years at that point.
10 years.
And so I reached out to him. I was like, hey, you know what? I know you play Destiny. Would you be cool at kind of helping me and guiding me through the game? I've never played it before.
This is when I gave you a little bit of honesty. I said, are you sure you want me? Because you see me play, so you know how bad my aim is. It'll be the blind leading the blind. And he went, that's what we'll call it.
All right, there's the Traveler. There's the Traveler in front of us. Let's go. Walk forward. Walk forward. I want you to enjoy this.
As someone who has a disability where it affects my vision, and it is hard for me to be able to play games in general, having someone take the time and guide me through being able to play a game and not try to rush me through things, that meant the world to me.
Where's that? All right. Oh, there he is.
Yes! Yes! Oh, yeah! In any other game,
Hell yeah,
usually
man.
people don't want to play with a disabled person, whereas with Destiny, I can jump in with T, I can jump in with my friends, and even when we just jump in with random blueberries in the community, we can still be able to help each other out, and that's why I love Destiny.
Did you shoot my friend? That was a bad choice.
It's all about being able to reach out and pick someone up and being like,
Thanks,
"We can do
Fabulous. I
this
appreciate that,
together."
buddy.
And that is being a hero. It's being able to lift everyone else up.
It's not about you. It's about the fire team. That's what makes a good Guardian, is when it's about reaching the end goal and reaching it together.
Very cool. Oh, that's so good. That's so good. Saint chilling with Mithrax and his Fallen and the little hatchlings, the little smallins. People like Destiny 2 in it. People like Destiny 2 in it. Where did Guardians meet the Vex for the first time in Destiny 1? I do know the answer to this. But do you? Joe, I think that there's definitely a version of that that works too, for sure. And like, just roast the people that are like shit talking super hard. Be like, and you're a little shit, and you're a little shit, and you're a little shit. It is Venus. Boom. Wind to your phone. So they can smell it. Gotcha. When viewing weapons in your inventory, kinetic weapons point blank and energy weapons point blank. Does anyone know this? It is a very good question, and one of those things that not a lot of people realize is going on when they play the game. Like, they don't realize that energy weapons and kinetic weapons point different directions, but it is right and left. Ah, fuck! No, I messed it up! I knew that.
Guardians, I hope you are all doing well. Happy Bungie Day. Here's my idea story of me being a Guardian in Destiny. I started playing Destiny in Destiny when the game first came out. I was a Hunter main back then. Now I'm a proud Titan main. My favorite moments of Destiny will be my first ever raid that I've covered an LFG group and the friends and clanmates that I met and play with to this day.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah, man. You just, God, you love to see, like, the Destiny community is just so fucking rad, dude. Like, last night, I decided, you know, I want to get a quick Vow the Disciple done, but I really don't want to run the whole thing. And I didn't have to. Ooh, this is a good one. This is a good poll. Does anyone know the answer to this? Which lore book tells the story of how the Awoken was born? Oh, Jesus, Joe, why? I mean, you don't have to get into it, buddy, but, like, that does not sound like a fun conversation to have. It is the Maracena. Very cool. Looks like a little custom painted Zavala figure.
Hi, I'm Gray, or Gamer Girl Gray. I am an Indian American content creator and community builder on Twitch with the motto Gaming for a Greater Good. I started my gaming journey in 2014 when two of my best friends gifted me my first Xbox. And I distinctly remember finding Destiny and staying up the entire night to play the game.
No, get me out, let me out, let me out, let me out, let me out. I'm dead, I'm dead. Not dead yet.
I found a place where I could be myself without any fear of being treated differently for who I was, how I looked, how I sounded.
No, you gotta be kidding me, bro.
When I came out to my community, it was such a monumental feeling for me to be able to see
all
these
dude,
people work together to
no.
make me feel welcome and safe and included. That was a feeling that I want to share with other people, this safe space.
And we're raiding with a party of one. Let's go.
Charity
Oh, fuck. I've done that so many times.
A very big part of my stream because I see my content as a means to an end to fight for what's good in the world.
No, God, please help me. No. Oh.
Ugh.
The happy corner of the internet is just about being able to lift people up in the few hours that they spend with me,
fuck.
creating
No, man.
something that people feel comfortable in. They feel like they can be their authentic selves in.
This game and this community constantly reminds me that we're not guardians just in name. We truly are bearers of light.
God damn it. That got me a little choked up. It's I think that's not the right quote. Guardian. Because the thing I'm thinking it is puzzles, because it would be, what puzzles do you bear? I don't think he says bring me. That's weird. I think that quote's wrong. Guardian, what puzzles do you bear? Yeah, that's wrong. I'm like 90% sure that's wrong. He says bring me? That's bananas. Guardian. Yo, what's up, Smooth? Smooth, you've been following since August 2nd, 2021. That's what's up. I apologize, there's no command for it. I'm a bad streamer. Say 14's favorite board is what? Pigeon. Did that answer come up on the same page, or was I just not paying attention?
Being a guardian to me has shown me how important it is to stand up for what's right and to defend those who are oppressed and marginalized, just like Bungie continues to do every single day. So thank you, Bungie, for being real life guardians to me and everyone else across the world. The way that you stand up for social justice issues and make sure that everyone in your circle is loved and cared for is truly inspiring. I know that it dictates the way that I live my life on a day-to-day basis. Thank you so much, and eyes up, Guardians.
Very cool. Throw more grenades is really good. Fight Forever Guardian is pretty good. Seventh Column is good. I think Throw More Grenades is probably my favorite. Hey, Joe, you calling me out right now? Joe, I don't appreciate this right now. You stop roasting me? You demand.
My name is Xavier, but you guys probably know me as Solar Flare. I make 3D animated skits based off of content in the Destiny universe.
Prepare to return to being a god-killing, time-breaking, paracausal.
Hell yeah,
space cowboy.
dude!
At first, I created content that I thought was creative, stuff you hadn't seen before, things that would be funny situations, but I didn't know how to produce them. One of my friends suggested to me this program called Plunder, and so I tried to learn it myself. I taught myself, I made a video. Solar Flare was the main character, and it went from just being the channel name to being the name of sort of who I am at this point.
Okay guys, we have to be careful. Someone here is possessed by an owl. Who? That's the thing, we don't...
Usually, it's
I love that joke so much.
Trying to go to sleep, my brain says, hey, it would be really cool if we went to sleep. But instead, what if we thought about a new video to create?
Hey, Bobby! Hey, Steven!
The future for Solar, I'm really excited. I'm working on a script and a whole plot, a series of videos. I'm really excited to create an actual cohesive storyline.
So, turns out,
Of course, Joe.
Aldrin's sister was actually an evil possessed meatball that was controlled by a magical space dragon that was actually controlled by a hive queen.
The Destiny community feels like a group of friends that you may not live in the same area, but every time you go back, it's like you never left. When you get to know the people,
It would be
that you're
unreal to be
spending
on
your
that
time with,
set.
not only does it make every moment with them more valuable, but also you might find yourself going to one of their weddings 5 years from now just because you decided to send them
I would
a
find
friend
it
request
incredibly
after they
difficult to
danced with you in a
focus
Crucible
with
match.
all of that
Are
shit
you
going
really
on
going
around
to
me,
tell
though.
me that looks more like the letter V than a slice of pizza? He ate pepperoni!
It blows me away just how dedicated people are to creating things in this community. It's just so cool to see how passionate people are about all of it.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yes, man. I fucking love this stuff, dude. I'm pretty sure dodgeball. I honestly don't know the answer to this. Pretty sure it's dodgeball, honestly. One of my favorite voice lines in this game right now is if you go to the Enclave on Mars, one of the warlocks that's just hanging out there will invite you to game night as a team building exercise. She's like, hey, a bunch of us hidden get together and have game night if you want to come. Hell yeah, dodgeball. If you can dodge a wrench, you can play Crucible. It's my best Shaxx impression is terrible. Hey guys, I know it is pre-show, but I realize I gotta make a phone call real quick. I will be right back, okay?
Here's a guy, Zoe's Universe, who's been in the Destiny community for 8 years running, probably considered now considered a veteran. And the fact that, back in July 2014, I was curious about the game. I was curious about it and very interested to see what this game, whether this is the game for me. And then to get to a point where I would, get so many dungeon clears, raid clears, go, flawless to the point where I even solo flawless trials. That was two or so weeks ago, and then to meet friends like Vixen, Tony, Lonely Low Live, Zoe, and then to be a mod for Miss Keller because she's awesome. To have all of that in like 8 years, I wouldn't even believed you back then, but here we are, still living the Guardian life. Amen.
Hey, soy Colossus. Desde mis inicios como guardián hace ya 7 años, jamás creí que
I am
llegaría
back,
tan lejos.
guys.
He puesto fin a incontables
Boom, boom.
amenazas y he conseguido las armas más exóticas. También he explorado el sistema solar durante años en busca de las respuestas más enigmáticas. Y aunque las encontrara, seguía faltándome algo. Hasta que lo encontré. ¿Sabéis qué forja verdaderamente a un guardián? Los compañeros que están a tu lado en cada aventura, ya sea tu escuadra o tu
Don't
clan.
worry.
Ser guardián va más allá de uno mismo. Yo junto a mi clan he hecho de todo, desde partidas privadas que acaban en carcajadas, hasta culminar una incursión en su modo 24 horas. Si no fuera por ellos, yo no estaría aquí. Es por eso que mi mejor momento en Destiny fue encontrar a mi clan, ya que a partir de ahí, mi destino tuvo sentido.
Guys, look, not only do I have my gamer sups, I also bought a giant water bottle. Bigger than my fucking head. 40 ounces. Japanese Destiny hits different. Banshee used this weapon to fight an army. Ooh, this is a good pull. This is some Beyond Light lore. I don't know, man. Deepstone Lullaby is my favorite Destiny song. Or it's up there, at least. Song. You know what I mean. Track. Song. Still works. It is The Lament. I think it's Bastion. Oh yeah? Hell yeah, buddy. Very cool art, man. I think it's Bastion. Yeah. Yo, Aaron with the gifted tier 1 sub. Nighthound, enjoy your tier 1 sub, buddy. Hell yeah, thanks, Aaron. I appreciate that, man. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's very nice of you. That is 11 total gifted subs from Aaron. Oh, this is super funny. I'm pretty sure it's 10.2 feet, which is like not even in the lore. It's a meme post from back when Resident Evil, is it 7? No, Resident Evil 8 Village, yeah. When Resident Evil 8 was coming out and like the giant vampire mom was like all the rage because of how tall she was or whatever. She was just fucking enormous. Bungie put out a tweet that was like, well, Kaido's actually taller. Kaido's the real height mommy. I'm pretty sure it's 10.2. Oh, 9.1. Yeah, no, because the vampire lady's 9 feet. And so they made her like 9.1 feet. Which is a very solid bit.
I want to say one of my biggest memories about playing Destiny happens to be the raids and a lot of the friends that I've made along the way. Vogue is my favorite raid, and when it came out, I was ecstatic. Again, happy Bungie Day to everybody, and hope everyone's having a great one, and I'll see you in the stars.
It's cool. It's cool art from this season. We're getting close, guys. 17 minutes left. And then we get to see the mobile game. I think. We'll see. Warlocks and grenades go well together. What exotic would you add to the mix? Either Sunbracers or Starfire Protocol. But, like, personally, Sunbracers. Starfire Protocol has been really nice this season. Lends itself well to some fun builds.
Hey everybody, I'm Tej.
A fun build.
And I'm a Guardian. What makes me feel most like a Guardian is being able to be me. We all choose to represent ourselves in different ways, and when you learn about someone's Guardian and the legend that they've written for themselves, it teaches you something beautiful about them.
I love the chief
strive to
statue with
create a
the
space
hatchling
online through content creation,
like
that
up on his shoulder.
people can
It's
just
pretty
come
good.
as they are, and we can all just celebrate in this beautiful world that Bungie's created for us. There's something really amazing about being able to connect with people through a shared interest without the fear or anxiety that comes with thinking that you have to be something you're not, or thinking that you have to conform to a certain ideal or worldview in order to be respected or loved. So I hope that on this Bungie Day, we all can remember what it means to be a Guardian. We all can remember to rally around each other, to show the love, spread the good vibes, and push back the darkness. I'll see you out there.
Dude, I love like the 3D renders that people make for this game. They're absolutely unreal. They're so good. They're so good. The fucking Titan on the end looks so cute. Looks like a little pug. The Upended, I believe. It could be the Uprising, though. I'm pretty sure it's the Upended. Guys, again, I really appreciate y'all hanging out, man. It's been awesome. You guys are great. Considering getting some models and just messing with them, do it. I don't even know where to find them online. I'm sure that people have them all over the place. I'm sure that there's a solid resource, probably on Reddit. But I'm pretty sure it's the Upended. Yeah. Look at me. I'm a gamer. Gamer. There's Daddy. Love you, Daddy. Ooh, if you could have a chat with any Destiny character, who would it be and why? Fuck. I don't even know. Kirby! Oh yeah, I'm in the Halo archive as well, Fabulous, for sure. Who? Let me think. Who would it be? Who would I choose to talk to? I mean, either like Banshee would be interesting to just like stand around and listen to all day. Maybe Osiris.
In a world where you rescue heroes from other timelines and brawl worm gods with your bare hands, it's a battle of light versus dark, monsters versus metal, everyone versus Telesto, in a lore-rich universe with an abundance of adventure and exploration.
But that's not just why we play, is it? Believe me, Nightmare hunts give me quite the adrenaline rush, but my Twitter mention suggests you expect more. So, did you keep playing for the life-changing god rolls? Or the mile-high sparrow flying? The Nessus frogs? The day one raid nights with your friends where you spend 8 hours and still don't know what you're doing? The Nessus frogs? You must have had some inspiration, right? Probably the creators and streamers that helped you forget that time you dropped your pizza, cheese side down. Or was it the people creating a Destiny universe of their own with stories, art, and literally dressing for the job they want? Maybe you're here for the intellectual discussion, or maybe you're here
for the Space Horse.
Maybe you're here for the Destiny creators you love so much, Bungie actually got one to do this video. Hi, Mom and Dad. What I'm trying to say is, Destiny 2 is so much more than the game we see in trailers. While many joined for the fantasy, we found a home amongst its people. And in the endgame, we stayed for the discos, the DPS, the grenades, the bad bubbles, burgers, and tannics behind every corner. Trombone medleys, laser tag, tower names, yeehaws, the dings, the punts, the clutcher kicks, sweeper bots, stasis crystals, cheese spots, raid callouts, pub stomp, ramen, sliding, chicken petting, Galahorn, Sepix Prime, shiny swords,
Thank you so much for joining us today. We are so excited to dive in and talk about just the kind of journey of being a massive Destiny and Bungie fan and what that's like to go from massive fan to actually working at the company that we loved so much.
Same
I want to
Fabulous.
learn about your journeys. How did you get started playing as a player, not as somebody who works here, playing Destiny, and kind of how has that relationship with the game evolved through the years? You know what, T, you and I, we've had many conversations, rich session. I want to hear from you, buddy.
So I've been playing the game for a little bit.
Just
a little bit. Just a little bit.
Okay.
And so, as proof of my, the D1 Alpha veteran status, I have my raid belt here today. So this is my cringe moment where I will be proud.
It's nice to see one in person. I've only seen it on like screens and like screenshots.
Tell us a little bit about it. Like, how'd you get it? When'd you get it?
That is the King's Fall World's First belt. Me and my 5 friends, we had, I say used to have, but I think we probably still have it. World's First of Fun. Like, whenever we were doing World's First races, it was supposed to be about having fun and showing off the new stuff. And for me, I always loved raiding just because like I'm a problem solver by heart. Like that's also why I love working here, because that's what I do is I just kind of solve problems that are really complicated. But it's really exhilarating. And now is very fun being able to watch others suffer for 24 hours.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Because it is exhausting. So if you are listening to this and you are raiding, or if you're planning on raiding for a long time, drink water, stretch,
Bathroom break.
don't
Please.
die.
Bathroom breaks. Please.
Thank you. Yeah.
Don't let that heart rate get you.
Man,
I'm
T-Rex.
very much with
I miss the
Sam
streams.
on this in terms of like the loving the problem solving and loving to get into that. I really fell in love with Destiny when I started raiding, and that was like my moment where I was like, I grew up playing puzzle games and mystery games, and like I love those types of games, and to find that in Destiny and to find that same sort of like problem solving, but to do it with a team and to do it with your friends.
I'm on the same page.
Yeah.
I'm totally on the same page. Like the number one story for me around that is definitely Deepstone. Deepstone, like
what a
I
beautiful
played
game.
all the way through
So
Deepstone
good.
with my clan, which was amazing.
When you look back at the history of Destiny, there's so many moments like that, and I'm kind of interested on, is there any characters or story moments that really stick out to you from our history?
I feel like that's Destiny at its best, is like when you are learning from it.
Yes.
Like at least for me, I feel like the journey of Eris.
Yes.
From like D1 and being like, who are you? What are you doing here?
Who's this weird
Like,
chick?
Yeah, it's like
Opening up
super
her
creepy,
face.
right?
Let's go.
Yeah, but I think like seeing where she is now and then how she's like really helped everyone else. Like a lot of people, I'm a huge Zavala fan. I'm a Titan. It's just like in my blood. So like for me, like seeing Eris like help all of these different characters, seeing Zavala come from where he is, which a lot of people, again, like, I know some folks that don't really like him that much, but to me, he always just seemed like a really, a father figure who's trying his best for everyone. When Kay died, right? I think like, people were like, what? Like Zavala, why aren't you doing this? X, Y, Z. And then we got to learn more about him. So for me, Zavala is like number one, that his whole character arc, and then Eris and like her character arc. You're all insufferable.
It's very
to then,
cool.
like,
These are all
teaching
community
everybody how to
members
deal
that
with their
became
demons.
employees.
I think
Props
is
to narrative
kind of
too,
crazy.
'cause-
Incredible.
Speaking to now and like through season 17, how Eris, she's like one of the epitomes of grief in her whole story, and how she evolved to something where she's like, I had to learn how to deal with grief on my own. And to see her evolve to a character that is like helping people go through their own grief. It's Bungie, what the heck? Like, how do you do
And
this?
how patient she was. Like the fact that like when Crow would stumble or Zavala would stumble, she'd be like, come, take a step back. Patience. Healing doesn't happen overnight. And
Exactly.
I think what we've seen in the last couple of seasons of the incredible narrative team and just diving deeper into all of the characters, I think that's one of my favorite things that we've seen from the kind of expansion from where we started to where we're at now, is just that deeper dive. And I know kind of where we're going with things, and just like the more that we're going to be able to dive into and hear characters' backstories and understand where they're coming from and what makes them, I think to everyone's point, it just makes it more than just a shooter game. You have that additional aspect of these incredible stories that we all connect with in different ways. And it just makes it's the Bungie magic, it's the space magic, it's the thing that like that.
then you do a little emote jig at the end.
Yeah, exactly. And it all somehow
Balance.
and it
Love
all
balance, sweetie.
makes sense.
It's called Glimmer Guns.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like, how cool is it like that we're here now? And I'm kind of interested, like knowing your long relationship with this game before you even worked here. And then that we're sitting on this couch, getting to nerd out and talk about the things that we love.
Aaron, I
the
didn't even see your
most.
message till just now.
How has that been?
Maybe one day, man.
Making that transition. What was that inspiration that drove you to be like, you know what? I'm gonna put my application in. We'll see what happens.
This is my first gaming studio for sure.
Yeah.
It's getting into Bungie is interesting because I always wanted to be in tech. That's really where I started. For Destiny specifically, I played it every day, but I never really thought of it as a place to work until Black at Bungie. And so I reached out to a bunch of people on LinkedIn and was asking a bunch of questions. I was like, hey, look. So it was really amazing to be able to like get into the industry and get into Bungie.
Destiny for me was, that was back when I was streaming for fun. It was just a hobby, but then it became just a lot more to me because it has all these things I love about games, because I love RPGs and I love, like the game feel of a Bungie game, right? When like you shoot that gun for the first time and it just feels good,
Space magic.
Yeah, space magic.
Space magic.
Like,
and I always play the wizard, so I played the warlock.
because that's all I want to do. I just want to cast space
I love
magic
this.
in every game that I play. So To me, the game's a lot. Like, it's kind of just, it gave me a career. It gave me like guidance in life for finding a community that I really love. And now I'm absurdly thankful that I can be a part of the team and hopefully make the game better to hopefully have that kind of impact on somebody else.
I knew that I wanted to work in gaming. I actually got the opportunity not from the Bungie career website, but from a Twitter post from a Twitter post. And I immediately sent a message and connected, and I was like, I want to talk about these marketing opportunities. And now I'm here.
Now you're here. You love to see it.
So, and it's and just even now, just the fact that I'm sitting here, I'm just like,
you shot your shot, dude. That's what life's about.
Literally, I shot my shot.
You shot your
I'm like, this is what they mean, because you hear them throw that phrase around, and you're just like, well, what does it actually mean to shoot your shot? And it's like, no, it's like, you're not going to respond on Twitter. It's like, I'm going to find you in other places.
Even if you
you're
have those moments of doubt. Even if you have that moment of fear, because sometimes to making a jump like that's scary.
Scary.
If you're scared,
absolutely,
do it anyway.
Yeah.
The leap into Bungie was really similar to Will's story. This is my first role in gaming, so it was this like huge leap to. I had been working in marketing for a long time, but I really wanted to make the switch to something that I'm really passionate about and something that I love, because I think that's what makes work so magical, is when you get to work on something you really care about and you really, really love and you feel passionate about. So that for me was
100%,
the
Aaron.
kind of thing that pushed me towards shooting my shot and taking my shot a couple years ago and making the switch over to Bungie. And it's been incredible. There's moments like this where it feels very surreal, where you're like, what is happening? This is very, very, just to have that, like, we all work at Bungie now. Like, we get to contribute to that thing that we all love so much, and that's incredible.
I'm sorry, but that's such a good point, because there's so many people that ask us like advice on how to get in, and I was rejected numerous times before finally getting that spot. And I know it breaks my heart, because so many other people are in that same position, and then they stop chasing that dream. Because like, this isn't my first gaming job. I've been working in this industry for almost 20 years, and as a journalist, and it was really scary to make that jump. I felt like it was right. I kept applying for narrative, and granted, I sent them not appropriate fan fiction as writing samples, so I get it. No hard feelings, I get it. They were like, it was just, they were like, hey, we think you'd be a good fit for community. Like, let's put you through that interview process, and we did that, and it was scary at first, but the more I kept interviewing, I was like, wait, no, this was made for me. Like, this is what I was supposed to do. And it was funny, because all of that trepidation that first week left, because I felt like it was family.
I'd like to think that Bungie gives space for that human condition, that human element. It's a place where I can feel like I can be myself. It's a place where I am
She
being
tried
taken care
to,
of,
didn't
and
quite.
I'd like to think that, we're not perfect, and there's things we can improve upon, but we try to talk about those things.
Well, thank you guys so much for joining us today. It was honestly so much fun just diving into your stories a little bit, not just like as devs and
there it
working on
is.
Bungie side,
There
but
it
as
is.
players before that, and the journey into that. I'm really also excited for the upcoming showcase, so I'm gonna need you all to meet me in the back. We're gonna do a blanket burrito, and we're gonna hunker down with some popcorn, okay? Let's go.
Deal. Let's go.
So ready.
I'm excited.
Blanket burrito, yeah?
Yeah. Blanket burrito.
All right.
Comfort. We're about
Let's do
comfort
it.
here at Bungie.
Hello, old friend.
What? They're like corrupted gold.
I'm so excited!
That's what I want in Destiny. I want darkness.
I just got chills.
This is everything.
Kinda
I've
like
ever
Rasputin,
wanted out
yeah,
of the
dude.
story. Multiple G-Wardens. Oh my god, I love it.
Ooh. Dang. Growth is nasty, son. Your life is forfeit.
No!
Woo! The Leviathan is back.
A scythe? A freaking scythe!
Where is Callus?
He has given himself over to the witness.
Yay. That was hot.
Sir, are you okay?
Oh, you look nasty.
What the frig? Is that the witness?
Let's go, guys. Oh my god, it's starting! I'm so stoked!
Welcome, Guardians. So awesome to be here with you again.
Last time we got up here, we got a chance to show you Savathun, the Witch Queen, and her majestic throne.
Joe, let's go.
Since then, it's been a wild year for Destiny.
You returned to the original loot cave to reclaim the fabled Galahorn.
No, please stop doing
Then,
that.
you exorcised an ancient evil from a hive queen, so you could put it inside a grenade launcher.
And now, you've been spending the past few weeks cleansing a derelict Leviathan from its twisted nightmares.
In fact, the last year has been the best year we've ever had in the Destiny community. I hope you can feel it as well. And seeing this kind of reaction from our community, it's both humbling and inspiring.
Because our team here at Bungie, we're not just developers, we're also guardians. We're trying to build what we'd love to play in Destiny, and that's what brought each one of us here. Brought us not only to Bungie, but also brought all of us to this final showdown between light and darkness.
Joe, you gotta chill out with
So,
the hands, man.
Without further ado, this is the beginning of the end. This is Lightfall.
Let's go. Fuck. Callus!
Come for us. To savor the fruitless struggle to its last drop. It's who they are.
What the fuck? Hello?
Come and see.
Oh, fuck!
Our shape reveal
Yo.
what they do then. Unshackled from hope.
Let's fucking go.
They are.
What in the fuck? Is that a grappling hook?
Are we free?
Oh my god! Dude, the text is okay. 228. 228.
I've seen that thing 100 times now, and every time I see it, I still kind of get goosebumps.
Instantly, I had chills. It's all here. It's all happening now.
Please
Things
stop.
are finally coming to a head.
Thematically, we really have been honing in on that kind of bombastic, big set piece approach.
It's gonna be over-the-top action, adrenaline pumping, like the whole time.
This is really kicking off the conclusion to the Light and Dark saga, where we finally face down this foe that we've been anticipating facing for so long. It's pushing it to 11.
We've been hinting at this malicious force in the darkness that's been our enemy behind a lot of our conflicts. We revealed that enemy, we put a name on it and put a face on it, and that enemy is the Witness. And the Witness is coming with its newly empowered disciple, Callus.
Callus
Yo,
is
Bishop,
crash landing
with the prime
a
sub.
new and more powerful army than ever before. They've got new powers, they've got new armor, they've got tormentors to join their ranks that are going to be bigger and badder enemies than we've ever faced. Callus is taking that army that he's bringing with him to
This
be
looks
the harbinger
fucking
of the
crazy.
Witness's doom.
This is such a pivotal moment for Destiny. Everyone is coming to have a last stand with Callus and the Witness to really avoid the next collapse, something that we've been trying to avoid ever since Destiny 1.
Yes, new destination. Let's see
We
it.
see in the trailer that we're headed to Neptune, and on Neptune there's been this
It's
hidden
Neptune!
city called Neomuna, where an alternate version of humanity has been blooming since the collapse.
Neomuna is the capital city of Neptune. It's a giant metropolis that we were completely unaware existed until now. What's interesting and exciting to me about this place is that it's pristine, it's new. It's not like a lot of the places that we've explored previously in Destiny. exploring that space is very, very cool.
There's so much new stuff to discover in Neomuna and in Neptune. And also I saw some new characters there. I'm really excited to get to know Cloud Striders and their story.
Cloud Striders?
Cloud Striders can be compared to Guardians. They're both protectors of a civilization that's potentially under threat. But Guardians were chosen. It's their duty to protect humanity. Cloud Striders have chosen to protect their people.
There's like an awesome opportunity for the Guardians to learn from the Cloud Striders and their way of living and their philosophy of life.
So we've got the newness of that city, the newness of the Cloud Striders that we've never been aware of.
And then, of course, you get a glimpse of this green energy. I wonder what that is.
Strand is the new darkness power that we discovered
Holy
here.
shit.
Something that's unique about Strand, unlike any of these other powers we've ever had before, when you play through Lightfall, you are discovering this power for the first time. No one in the universe ever in the history of Destiny has used Strand before.
This is the Guardian discovering darkness on their own and learning how to shape it and manipulate it and use it against Callus and his forces, and, you know, have fun in the new urban environment of Neomuna. You are really gonna have to prepare yourself for a wild ride.
We just got a glimpse of
I want to see it!
Neomuna, our new foe, Callus and the Shadow Legion, paired with the Witness, and a very brief glimpse at Strand, but that's just barely scratching the surface of what this release has to offer.
Right, like what we've just seen in that trailer is just the tip of the iceberg, and we've got a whole lot more we're excited to show you coming up.
Last year, we wanted to return to our studio's roots in creating some of the best shooter campaigns in the industry.
That's been our legacy since Halo, and we tried to push that front and center in The Witch Queen.
And it's about more than just guns, but creating an adventure in a handcrafted world full of surprises. Then, we added the legendary campaign option, because great combat needs to challenge you, to test your thumb skill, your tactics, and your build crafting.
And we heard loud and clear that you want more of that. In fact, 2 out of every 3 players that completed the Witch Queen campaign did it on Legendary.
That's awesome.
You tested yourself against the Witch Queen and her Lucent Hive and rose to that challenge. And then you let us know it was one of the best shooter experiences that we've ever made.
So with Lightfall, we want to push that even further. We want to give you
Yes.
the best
Yes.
Bungie action experience
Yes.
that you can create with the brand new Lightfall campaign.
Lightfall is going to change the
Gameplay,
way
maybe?
that our players move, fight, and explore.
Dave Samuel!
everywhere in
Let's
Destiny.
go!
Neptune is this fantastic destination. The capital city of Neomuna is a really fun place to explore, and it's this bright neon metropolis. There's a harbor, office
Oh
buildings,
my god, it's
an
fucking
arcade.
beautiful.
This is a city that we've made.
There's
and
an
using
arcade?
Strand to traverse through it and explore it. It's going to be so exciting.
There's some places that once you whip out that grappling hook, ooh, you're gonna be able to explore.
There's
and
a
get to places that you
fucking grappling hook!
There, I wonder if I can grapple to there. I'm going to be a kid in a candy store.
Halo Infinite,
It's
eat
not
your
a city
fucking
that
heart
has
out!
Collapsed. It is a city that has lived through the collapse.
Neptune now has to
Oh
deal
my
with the
God.
coast being pulled back and then being revealed to the world and are now central of the conflict.
Callus has taken his capital ship and just like planted it right down in part of the city, and it's Cabal-occupied territory.
Look at the
It's a
giant
city under
Callus.
siege. You've got this infiltrator vibe at times where you feel like a tactical team going into a skyscraper. You're dealing with Cabal roadblocks and patrols all throughout the city.
This is so fucking cool!
The Shadow Legion, they provide that like characteristic Cabal brute strength. They're all about like volatility and power, and they've been enhanced now by pyramid technology. They have these suppression devices that can take away some of your super, or take away some of your abilities, and then they fight alongside
That's
these
super cool.
terrifying new pyramid units called Tormentors.
Yo,
As part
let's
of his
go!
discipleship to the Witness, Callus has been upgraded, and so the Tormentors that they've brought in are these impossibly huge, unstoppable behemoths. They wield scythes, they can attack from a distance, they can bring you in close, they can drain your very life force from you. They are basically embodiments of terror.
It's like a boss.
That's so
character
cool!
Within the battlefield, your stomach drops. You're like, okay, I'm playing through, I'm having fun, I'm popping heads, doing this thing, and then boom, there it is.
We've got all the new stuff going into the game. Strand, Tormentors, Shadow Legion, a cool new environment. These are all a great start for a new Restoration campaign, and we're still making sure that we go through and we tweak and tune and we balance the encounters to have that right challenging level of difficulty for players.
The Legendary campaign was a huge hit coming out of the Witch Queen. It was the first time we had done that sort of elected difficulty where you could really test your skill and test your power. And so we're going to bring that back for Lightfall.
Of course, you're still going to have that higher reward tier, and we still want to make sure that you get that inside track towards being raid ready.
Everyone back at the studio is so hard at work on Lightfall, putting in the details and making
the
this
grappling
whole
hook
release come alive and continue to surprise and delight players. I am so excited to get this out.
Lightfall is unlike anything players have seen before in Destiny, and it's another step that sends you hurtling to the conclusion of the Light and Dark saga.
I'm like a little kid right now. This is unbelievable. Yes!
Amazing. I'm super excited to dive into Strand and talk about all the new stuff that we just saw.
Strand, like Stasis, is a power from the darkness. Unlike our light abilities, which are all about creation, darkness is more about consciousness.
Strand is psychic energy that forms this extra dimension, or this sort of matrix that connects everything together, connects all living beings and all minds. And you, the Guardian, are sort of gaining the knowledge and gaining the power to peer into this alternate psychic universe and begin to pull at these threads and tug at these wires that are connecting all of these living beings.
When Guardians learn how to use Strand, it's almost like this third eye opens up. It's about peeling back the curtain of reality, taking those connections and then weaving them into new objects.
Yeah, and it's pretty cool to see them come together. Like, it's always been there, and now that we can tap into it, we can use it for our benefit, whether it's through movement or through damage.
Strand has a grappling hook. Since you're seeing into this
Oh my
cosmic
God.
web, you are able to grapple at any point because the cosmic web exists everywhere. Even if there's not an object there, it will hook on to that web and pull you forward. It's just taking that idea to the next level,
unreal!
putting that Destiny spin on it.
Yep. The grappling hook initially started as part of the Hunter's Kit, right? They're all about fluid movement, rapidly traversing space, and being very agile. But as we were developing, it's like, oh man, this feels like it's too much fun to just keep it to one class, right? So we made the call to expand this super cool new ability across all 3 classes. On the design side,
this is
we wanted to
unbelievable.
come up with how each of the classes interpreted this additional psychic dimension, like in their own way, right? So the Warlock, they're the telekinetic master of Strand. So they're going to be able to telepathically reach into the Strand dimension, pull matter out, and weave it into this big barrage of these Strand missiles. Wherever they land, these missiles are actually going to unravel, sort of reweave themselves into a new form.
With the Titan, you're able to weave these claws and do an area of damage around you, spinning and slashing.
The super I think I'm most excited for is the Hunter Rope Dart super. The Hunter does a flip and weaves these strands into this rope dart and is swinging it as they're kind of moving around.
That's so fucking cool.
The first time I saw that, even in its kind of like rough state, it just blew my mind. We've learned a lot from creating our other subclasses, and we've taken those learnings about combat, about movement, about build crafting. We've put that all into Strand, and I'm so excited to see where players
Oh
take
my
it
God,
once it's out there in
guys.
the wild.
This is unreal.
Destiny is a game that gets even better when you play with your friends. We want to create communities that are welcoming
Game
and
Store.
inclusive, and that let you bring your old friends and make new ones. And since last year, over 5 million new Guardians have joined our ranks.
We believe that there are still millions more of your friends that would love to play Destiny with you. And the things that you want to see us improve in Destiny are also exactly what's going to make it easier to convince your friends to come and check out the game.
It should be easier to create custom, incredible builds. Easier to find people to play with. Easier to swap from being that boss-melting, storm chaser-wielding, falling star
Loadouts.
right into that ultimate yeehawing, dead man's tail shooting,
I
Titan's
fucking love this.
rampart crutching sentinel.
And if none of what Joe just said makes sense to you, we want to fix that too. Because it's not about removing the depth that makes Destiny so great.
Right.
It's instead about allowing everyone to dive deeper
Right.
with ease.
The changes we're making to make Destiny easier to come into, changes to how you build your characters, changes to how you see what there is to do and what there is to accomplish. And in the year ahead, we're actually making it easier to form groups in Destiny so you can go and do some of the greatest stuff that Destiny has to offer.
Improved social features and stuff?
Build this experience, and so that's what's really exciting.
We keep on hearing from players like, hey, unless I have a friend to play with, I don't know what to do. And so what we're trying to give them is like, hey, here's a path to follow. Guardian ranks are basically like a knowledge ladder. We actually progress you through 11 ranks. And it's really like heavily focusing on like exposing players to all the systems of Destiny.
At some point, the story about you as a Guardian involves other Guardians and what they think about you. That is just a whole new dimension of your journey through Destiny that we've never really explored before. When you show up in the tower and you see that person who's at one of the highest ranks, you're going to know that you're looking at a player who's actually really demonstrated mastery of many of the different activities in Destiny.
This is super
not just
cool.
From our perspective, but from the perspective of other players. Some of the higher Guardian ranks will actually be asking for you to step up, to actually rise to the occasion and prove to other Guardians that you are a strong player and a strong leader.
A lot of people have groups that they already play with, but this will really provide people the opportunity to be recognized for helping other people learn the game, but also provide more people to play with on a regular basis.
In the year of Lightfall, we're going to actually be investing in building a looking for group system in Destiny itself.
Let's
You'll
go!
Be able to look for other players. You'll be able to find groups that are looking for players.
I'm so excited about being able to form groups in the next coming year because it can be really hard to
Dude,
get
in-game
through some of the
LFG?
hard content so
Finally?
making it so
That's
much easier to
amazing!
Find people to play with is just going to make getting into Destiny and doing the awesome content so much easier.
Yeah, and they'll be able to say, this is a player who I can trust to lead me through the new raid. I want to join their group. Or they can say, these are players who are new to the activity. I want to take them for that first raid because that'll be a great experience for them and a valuable experience for me as a leader.
It's really going to help players come together and understand each other better when they've never met before. It's going to make the game so much more social, and I think that it's going to really make Destiny players feel like they're on one team.
So commendations is a feature that you'll experience towards the end of an activity. So you end the activity now and you get to see the screen that has all the people you played with. You can click on one of the Guardians and choose what experience you had with them. So like, were they a good team player? Were they fun to play with?
That's awesome.
There's no better way to actually show how good a person is as a teammate or as a leader than to have other players say, this person's a great teammate, this person's a great leader. It's really a system that's
super
designed
cool.
to let players show appreciation for each other.
Also using the commendation system, people are going to be able to say like, hey, this person as a good leader, and looking at the Guardian rank system, they have a lot of experience. It's going to be, oh, that's the person I want to help me get through this hard content that I've been struggling with.
Social games like Destiny give you an opportunity to like really connect with other people and do things together and get to know each other. And with a system like LFG, you're making it so that more people can get that experience started than ever before.
Both the loadout screen and the mod manager are completely new features.
Let's go!
Mod manager is meant to make build construction Destiny a lot easier.
We all love our fashion game. The fashion game's amazing. And so we're going to take what we did for the fashion game and we're bringing it to the Buildcraft game. There's going to be one screen where you can go
awesome!
to and do your entire loadout for your character. It's going to be amazing.
So you'll be able to save the build that you've put together as a loadout and then switch between those things as you're going from activity to activity.
Yeah, I feel like with the new
Fuck
release
yes!
and the commendation system mixed with Guardian ranks, we're giving players even new aspirations. It isn't going to be just about power level. It won't just be about gear.
I'm
it's
so
also going
stoked.
to be about that Guardian rank. It's going to be about those commendations. It's all the ways that we're bringing players together.
So today, we are also launching a brand new season of Destiny 2.
Of course.
And as we've evolved our seasons over the years, we've learned a lot. And I think we've been able to deliver some amazing character moments and events for the community.
We're long past the era of content droughts. Instead, there are exciting story and events happening in Destiny almost
300,000
every
people
week,
watching on Twitch right now.
year-round. And we're not slowing down.
Each season, we want to keep raising the bar for narrative experiences in any live game. We want to keep pushing to create unexpected adventures that'll make every season of Destiny unique. And we want to keep listening and learning from you, the Destiny community, so that we can create the strongest seasons of any live service.
Because the witness is coming. And if we want to survive, we need a crew. We need to enrich our defenses. If you're feeling surly, maybe even loot our enemies.
We may even need to find a captain to join us on our next adventure.
Fuck it, let's
in
go,
the
dude.
Season of Plunder.
Hell yeah! Pirates, baby!
Aramis has broken free.
Oh my god!
It's now really under her command.
I've read about them. What is the human word?
Pirates. Deal with these outlaws.
The spider!
Well, anchors away.
This is amazing!
Go show those pirates what happens when they crush Spiderhead.
Oh, we get to play this today!
Hope you've got ammunition, Guardian. Time to blow this rickety barge.
It's an Arc 3.0. Dude, I was right about some of my fucking predictions.
You got the goods, Guardian.
Let's go!
Sorry, getting a little swept up in all this adventuring.
Let's fucking go. The season ends the day after my birthday. That's funny.
What are you most excited about for Season of Plunder?
Pirates.
Hell yeah, brother.
This season we said, what if we just go to the stars and dig up buried treasure?
We are unearthing a lot of mysteries and secrets. We're swashbuckling onto enemy spaceships. And then we're also learning a lot of things about some of our favorite characters.
We're gonna have an adventure this season.
I'm so excited.
Season of Plunder kicks off with Aramis being freed from her icy prison. She's collected old, fallen crews of pirates and rogue cabal together in order to hunt down mysterious relics and treasures.
It's time to meet your end.
So Guardians are tasked with stopping Aramis from collecting these relics. And in order to do that, you have to create your own crew of shady dealers and backroom brokers.
Drifter, Mithrax, Ido, and Spider are going to be helping you.
Anchors away. Ready when you are, Captain.
That's the beginning of Season of Plunder. What you're going to be doing is forming a pirate crew of your own.
This is
You're going
so
to
rad.
fill it with different crew
This is so
members that you
cool.
can recruit over the course of the season. Drifter is going to toss you the keys to your personal catch. Then you're just going to set out into the stars and do cool pirate stuff.
So excited.
Our own catch?
This season, we have multiple brand new activities coming that will really give you a sense of being on a pirate adventure. One of the mainstays of this season is a new 6-player offensive called Catch Crash.
When I saw the concept for the catch with the big mainsails on it, I just said, oh my God, this is gonna be a fun season.
Just like seeing Catch Crash through the different iterations, like fighting on the deck of the ship.
You get to become your own ammunition and launch yourself from a cannon to the
Sea
other
of Destiny?
ship, and
Destiny
you
of Thieves?
are the weapon, so you're gonna go mess them up.
The second big activity we have coming this season is called Expedition. You're going to be guiding a massive drill that's looking for this buried, hidden pirate treasure, and you're going to have to be fending off of all these pirate crews trying to protect their hordes.
I love it.
And then our final new
I like that
activity coming
armor.
this season is what we're calling pirate hideouts.
We have so many like different little maps that you can piece together fragments of this season, and they lead you to the lair of the pirate lord, right? Their hideout.
These are their caves where they're hoarding all of their amazing treasures and their mysterious relics.
These relics
Hell
are
yeah.
mysterious objects of dark power, and they're all over the system. We don't know exactly what it is they do yet, but if Aramis is trying to collect them, it's nothing good.
100%, man.
Taking the opportunity to line the ARC 3.0 update with the Fallen, it just ended up working out perfectly because you got all the simple ARC weaponry and the ARC shielded captains. It feels right with that release, almost like we planned it.
ARC is a damage type that's about proximity, right? It's about going fast up into your enemy spaces and like deleting them. It's the damage type for people that want to hold W. You don't want to retreat.
Unbridled aggression to the max.
Hunter is really about close range action, being fluid and dynamic and agile, evasive. So we're going to give Arc Hunter a new super. We call it Gathering Storm, where you summon your Arc Staff, like twirl it above your head, and then launch it out, and then it will embed into the ground or into like bosses or mini bosses or champions.
What?
Jolt them. Like a big lightning strike will strike the staff and overcharge
That is
it. While
fucking
that staff is
unreal.
overcharged, it'll start Tesla coiling little lightning bolts out at nearby enemies.
That
Arc
looks
is
so
kind of this
cool.
Elemental conduit. You are a class that will turn yourself into lightning. You will create things out of lightning. Previously, we had this exotic armor piece called Getaway Artist, where you consume your grenade and it'll make a what we call a sentient arc soul that fires faster and does more damage as a result. So we decided to roll that into base arc soul behavior. Anytime you are amplified, any arc soul you have from any source will become the supercharged version that will fire off just rapid fire bolts.
Titan's
Why would
about
I shoot
being
my
this
gun?
Unstoppable freight train. It's about this constant movement. So we gave Titans a new movement option, something that we felt like is going to be competitive in this new environment of air dodges and air slams. That's a new ability called Thruster. And it's all in first person. It's all very much in the heat of the moment you see it happen. Its whole property is like rush down or get
Hell
out.
yeah.
And it's a movement tool to the max. There's going to be this new melee
That's
ability
a
called
little
Thunderclap, which
crazy.
is like an amazing thing where he like charges his fist all super flashy. It's our first ever charge melee, so you hold down the button, and as that cocks back and charges up, you'll end up doing more damage.
Look
and
at
getting
this.
A little
Look
bit
at
more
this.
range. And speaking of
That's
the whole
fucked.
goal of deleting things, I believe in PvP a full charge is a one-shot kill.
It is, oh yeah.
It's a little skillful to like pull off because you're gonna have to really read your opponent here. The whole through line with Arc is
Unreal.
Like, it really isn't that complicated. It's move fast, hit hard, and stay alive.
What I'm most excited about in Season of Plunder is that this is really a season that has a sense of
Oh, yeah.
adventure. You're exploring the system. You're looking for
Like Grasp
pirate
of Avarice
treasure,
music,
pirate
man. So
relics.
good.
You're seeing the world evolve in a way we haven't done before.
I love that with the activities in the season, like we just leaned really hard into the pirate fantasies. I love that we have your own catch. I love that you're tracking down buried treasure and then going after the pirate leaders in their caves.
The interesting thing about Destiny is we're not just a fantasy game or a sci-fi game. We're kind of a blend of both. We take inspiration when we say pirates. It's old world pirates that you would see traditionally back in the 17 and 1800s. We have like a flintlock pistol. We have an exotic
Hell
fusion
yeah.
rifle that plays different than fusion rifles you've ever seen before.
It's just like end to end, just really leaning into
Hell
that
yeah.
spirit of like the pirate adventure. And let's also make it so that new players coming in can actually jump in and get started. The gift of the Thunder Gods is a starter kit. It's a set of armor, it's a Thunderlord exotic weapon.
So jump in, join your friends, set sail, become the captain, and build your crew today in Destiny.
Very cool. King's Fall, baby! Let's fucking go! Yes. Good old Golgi! The dick wall! War Priest! It is so good to see you, my man. Look at that fucking ring.
Man, it is so awesome seeing King's Fall return to Destiny.
Yeah, actually, King's Fall was the first thing I got to work on at Bungie. And I'm thrilled that a whole new generation of Guardians will get to experience this refreshed and
That's so
reloaded
cool, man.
showdown with the Taken King.
So, we've shown you Lightfall. We've shown you the new damage type, Strand. We've shown you some of the deeper changes to the game that we're going to be making throughout the next year. But we have one more thing that we are excited to announce today.
Destiny is coming to the Epic Game Store today.
Epic has been an absolutely
That's
fabulous
the last
partner to work
announcement?
with. They love Destiny. And we are just huge fans of what they've been doing
No
in the
mobile
social
game.
space. When we first started working with Epic, we sat down and talked about the impact
Oh, this is the
that their
Fortnite
games
stuff
have had
too.
on us. And they had a bunch of the same stories for us.
They shared stories about playing the Vault of Glass and how much they enjoy the social experiences in Destiny. And I got to talk about the summer of Fortnite Chapter 1, Season 5, when my whole family was laser focused, taking turns in the island to unlock Drift.
In addition to launching all of Destiny 2 on the Epic Game Store today, for the next week, if you download the game on Epic, we will give you the 30th anniversary for free.
Whoa!
If you haven't earned your Galahorn yet, or you haven't played the Grasp Dungeon, come to the Epic Game Store and you can jump in for free.
We want to welcome all these new Guardians with a celebration. One that stretches a little further than the last.
Christ. Here it comes, guys. Fortnite crossover. Zavala? Oh, and Fall Guys? Yo, Stranger and Ikora. Fuck off. The Fall Guys stuff is unreal. That's crazy.
A few years ago, we shared our plans for the Light and Darkness saga. This journey, years in the making, is coming to an end. Since we started charting our own course, we've been building this story. Across 5 years of expansions, since the first pyramid ship emerged in Shadowkeep and we first spoke to the darkness. Then, across Beyond Light, the Witch Queen, and coming up in Lightfall in the final shape, we're building towards a climactic collision between the powers of light and dark.
We've also been working on the Destiny engine behind the scenes, preparing our technology and our game to last for many, many years to come. Because Destiny 2 is not going anywhere, and neither are your expansions. We want this story, since we first communed with the darkness on the moon, to be fully playable, start to finish. And we're happy to announce today that we are not planning to sunset any more expansions. We want the Destiny universe to grow, and we're going to continue to do
That's
everything
awesome.
that we can behind the scenes to keep that possible within our game engine.
But enough about the distant future. Let's talk about today, the best day all year to jump into Destiny.
Yes, because if you're looking to catch up, right now, all expansions are free to play for this entire week on every platform for everyone.
Right now, Season of Plunder is live, and the Helm's got a set of supercharged art gear for anyone looking to catch up on the fun.
Destiny is live on the Epic Game Store. You can download it for free, and you can get the 30th anniversary pack as your welcome gift.
And if you liked what you saw about the future, right now, pre-orders for Lightfall are live on all platforms. And anyone who purchases the annual pass gets the exotic auto rifle Quicksilver Storm today.
Today is a perfect day to play Destiny.
So we'll see you in game.
Hell yeah, guys!
I've read about them. What is the human word?
Pirates.
There's so much. I cannot believe the mobile game didn't get announced. I'm legitimately amazed at that.
Let them come and see. What they do then, that is who they are.
That was awesome, guys. Hell yeah. Hell yeah! Destiny 2 Lightfall! Season of Plunder! Arc 3.0 and King's Fall. Let's go!